Yo, do-over, run it back. Yo, guys, it's your boy Bernard, and welcome to another episode of the Angry Blurred Podcast, where I will be discussing everything nerdy that has caught my eye this week. I have no idea why I am doing my news reporter voice, but in today's news, I got a bunch of casting news for you guys. So we got some more God of War casting, and none other than Callum Vincent will be playing Atreus in the God of War series for Prime Video. He was on Chucky. He was also on The Night Agent on Netflix. He was in a Peacock series called Long Bright River that aired last year. And apparently he will also be playing young Jason Voorhees in the Crystal Lake Peacock series that's supposed to be coming out sometime in the future. I have no idea how old he is, but he was on Chucky for 7 episodes between 2023 and 2024. Maybe he's like 10 or something like that. He doesn't even have a Wikipedia photo, but he has a mini biography. Like, I'm going to IMDb right now to see how old he is, if I can even get that information. Nope. His Instagram, nothing. But I think he's like maybe like 8, 10. Watch, he's gonna come out. He's like 14, but he got a baby face or some shit like that. But yeah, so there's that. Also, a franchise that is making a comeback after, a movie was done, 6, 7 years ago? When the hell did this movie come out? I want to say it was 2016, 2017. I am pulling it up right now. 2017. Baywatch is going to be airing on Fox. And I think I brought this up before that they were bringing Baywatch back. I feel like I did because I downloaded the Baywatch theme to play in the background as I was talking about it. But either way, that's neither here nor there. So Stephen Amell has been the first actor cast in this series, and everyone's losing their shit because some people like Stephen Amell, some people don't like Stephen Amell. I don't get why they don't like him. The man is very vocal about, interacting with fans and whatnot. So if you talk shit to him, he's going to talk shit back. But he is being cast as Hobie Buchanan, who is the son of Mitch Buchanan, who was on Baywatch. And I want to say Baywatch Hawaii. I'm not entirely sure. But everybody's like, oh, why can't they just bring back the original Hobie? I'm like, for starters, Jeremy Jackson wasn't even the original Hobie. Brandon Call was the original Hobie. And then people were like, oh, why can't we, why do we got this blonde guy playing Hobie? Stephen Amell has brown hair. It's either brown or black, I don't know. But Brandon Call was a blonde. So I'm just like, come on, man. Y'all need to stop nitpicking over every single damn thing. But I am checking. Yeah, he was on Baywatch Hawaii as well, the character. So I'm going to check it out. I don't really watch anything on Fox anymore outside of, I want to say, The Simpsons. Because Fox no longer has SmackDown. I stopped watching American Dad midway between this TBS run where it was a little bit more raunchier. Stopped watching American Dad almost 20 years ago. Never watched 911. Like, they don't really have any hour-long dramas for me. Like, Fox has nothing for me, really. At that. Also, Jason Momoa, who I just talked about last week when I did the review for The Wrecking Crew, is going to star in the live-action Helldivers movie. I've never played Helldivers. I didn't even know Helldivers was a thing until about a year ago, 2 years ago, something like that, when they announced Helldivers 2 at the Game Awards. Or it might have been the PlayStation State of Play. I don't remember. Time is a blur to me. But that movie will be coming out on November 10th of 2027. And this one is looks like it's going to be a very meta action comedy movie. Jason Statham will be starring as Jason Statham in a movie titled Jason Statham Stole My Bike. Now, this is something that I would avoid if it wasn't attached to a director/writer that I like, also a former stunt performer, David Leitch. So for those of you who don't know who David Leitch is, let me refresh your memory on who David Leitch is again. Co-directed the first John Wick movie, also produced it, directed Atomic Blonde, directed Deadpool 2, directed Hobbs and Shaw, directed and produced the Bullet Train movie that came out in 2022 with Brad Pitt, Bad Buddy, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Brian Tyree Henry, etc., etc. And The Fall Guy, a movie that I talked about for a good like 15 minutes or so when I reviewed it in 2024 that none of you guys saw. And he's got a movie coming out called How to Rob a Bank that comes out this year that he also directed and produced that stars Nicholas Hoult, Pete Davidson, Zoe Kravitz, John C. Reilly, Christian Slater, Renee Feliz. I was like, why do I know that name? But he played Victor on The Penguin. R.I.P. Victor. And Anna Sawai. Never heard of her, but she's from New Zealand. And she's on Monarch Legacy of Monsters. And she was in Shogun. Wait, she was in Ninja Assassin? Okay, so she was like, okay, she was a kid in Ninja Assassin then. Because Ninja Assassin, it's like 14, 15, something like that. Because Ninja Assassin came out in 2009 and she was born in 92. So yeah, How to Rob a Bank. Hopefully that's good. That's supposed to be coming out September of this year. I don't think I've seen the trailer for that. I just got to double check because sometimes stuff be going over my head and I'll be missing it. So yeah, that's it for casting so far. Now my next story is in regards to the PlayStation State of Play that happened on the 12th. I did not watch this live, so I'm actually reading from the blog that PlayStation posts about, the State of Play, game updates, things like that. So I skimmed this blog, and there really wasn't anything that like caught my eye. Besides, like, we got a story trailer for 007 First Look. Like I said, I'm still waiting for this game to come out. It's supposed to be coming out, August now? I think they pushed it back like 2 months just to polish it or something like that. So yeah, we got a story trailer for that. Something called For Loop is a co-op shooter. It's a 4-player co-op shooter, so that might be good. Something I didn't care about was Beast of Reincarnation. So basically this is a action RPG that comes out on August 4th, which is set in a sci-fi inspired far future Japan against a backdrop of a devastated world. So it follows Emma, who is a bright corrupted outcast, and her four-legged companion Ku, who is a male fact. I guess it's a species of mythical beast whose kind who are allegedly a danger to the world. So yeah, apparently you will be playing as both Emma and Ku. So you would do turn-based RPG. It says you'll need to switch between Emma's real-time sword-based combat and directing Ku through a command system similar to a turn-based RPG. I don't really play them because I hate going around in the same areas, despite the fact that I am currently playing Arkham Asylum. Castlevania, Belmont's Curse. So I don't really do Metroidvanias, like I said, because I don't have a problem with games where you have to go to the same areas multiple times. It's those side scrollers that really fuck me over. Like, bought Metroid Dread. I've bought Metroid games in the past. I've never beaten a Metroidvania in my life. The only when I say Metroidvania, I'm specifically talking about side scroller games. And I just realized I lied. I never beat a Metroid game. I never played a Castlevania game. But the only Metroidvania game I've ever beaten was Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. And that's the one that came out about 2-3 years ago with the, I can't remember the guy's name because I almost called him a character from Horizon Forbidden West. But basically it's the one with the guy with the Miles Morales haircut, the Killmonger haircut, the Vrawl from Horizon Forbidden West, and the black character from League of Legends haircut. I got it for like $20 at Walmart, like 6 months after it came out because the sales were so low. But this one looks good. So this is supposed to be coming out later this year. It says Belmont's Curse recaptures the Gothic action in a whole new way as development duties are shared between Konami, Evil Empire, and Motion Twins. New weapons and abilities join classic tools, all envisioned in a brand new art style. So, yeah, like I said, never played a Castlevania game. There's always been just Metroid for me in the Prince of Persia game. Control Resonant. I've never played anything from Remedy. I have Control due to PlayStation Plus. I keep meaning to check it out, but then I'm just like, I don't know if it's a. I have to look at the trailer because Control is a game that just basically flew under the radar for me, and it's not a fear of playing new games. It's just like, do I really want to pick up a new game at the moment? So this one is coming out. It says Remedy Entertainment shares new details on Control, Resonance, shape-shifting weapons, navigating gravity anomalies, and more. Learn how you'll navigate a Manhattan unpredictably reshaped by otherworldly forces, and battle fearsome forces by using your own supernatural abilities, including a shape-shifting weapon. All right. I'm like, I don't know if this is the last one. So why would you even name this Dead or Alive 6 Last Round? Okay, I guess this is a remaster. So it says a double hit of Dead or Alive news at the State of Play. First off, Dead or Alive 6 Last Round will be slugging its way onto the PS5 on June 25th. This definitive version of the 2019 brawler will launch simultaneously with both standard and free-to-play editions, with the latter featuring 4 fighters from the fuller 29-strong roster, and Team Ninja confirmed work is on the way on a brand new entry into the series, sharing a first tease, which you can watch above, which is just the trailer for Dead or Alive 6. So I guess they're going to put the Dead or Alive 6 edition up, and then Last Round will have like the whole edition or whatever. So this one, I never played past the second one, so I might get this. So this is a God of War trilogy remake. So Santa Monica finished off the PlayStation State of Play, and they confirmed that the Greek trilogy of God of War, so that's God of War 1, 2, and 3, the ones that were on PS2 and PS3 respectively. I want to say the first God of War was on PS2. I'm going to double check that real quick, so I don't seem like I'm lying or giving out false information. All right. Yeah, I was right. PS2. So they said 2 big announcements from Santa Monica Studio concluded the State of Play. First, confirmation that a remake of the God of War trilogy is in early development. And secondly, that the studio has partnered with Megacat Studios to create a 2D action platformer, God of War Sons of Sparta, which is out now. So I saw that and I'm like, do I really care about a retroactive story that's set in the continuity of the God of War franchise? And I'm not one who usually hates on like retroactive stories, depending on what it is, honestly. So I don't know about that. I'll probably get the trilogy, and then like if I'm still like itching for more God of War, whenever that goes on sale, the Sons of Sparta, because it's young Kratos as a kid, and the only thing I'm excited about that is T.C. Carson, who was the original voice of Kratos. Also played Kyle on Living Single. He was also the black guy in Final Destination 2, whose character's name I can't remember because he died, like everybody else did. Is reprising his voice work as Kratos. So, if you have Ghost of Yotai, you will be getting the Legends DLC, which is free on March 10th. It's going to be part of the 1.5 update, like I said, on March. So, I didn't even play the Legends DLC on Ghost of Tsushima. I keep meaning to, but I am on my replay of the Arkham games at the moment. If you have not been watching on the Angry Blurred YouTube page, playing Arkham Asylum at the moment. Started with Arkham Origins, which I instantly regretted. Not because Arkham Origins is a bad game, it's just because the gameplay styles are so different. Like, Arkham Origins has the gameplay style of Arkham City and Arkham Knight. Meanwhile, since Arkham Asylum was technically the first game in the franchise, there's a lot of stuff in there that you can't do. Like, you can't run and slide and hit people. Like, the quick fire gadgets are slightly different. So, like, the Bat Claw is like L2 and triangle in every other game except Asylum. So it's really fucking with my head. All right. If you like Kenna and the 2 Strings, you are getting a sequel game called Kenna Scars of Cosmora. So it says Emerlev returns with the all-new adventure as an older, renowned spirit guide. Kenna travels to the mysterious island of Cosmora. Spirit companions will be a big part of Kenna's journey. Charming buddies that travel with you, grow over time, and unlock new powers as your bond deepens. There's still spirits to be cleansed, and new elemental gameplay expands the strategy and depth of combat. Scars of Cosmora launchers later this year on PS5 and PC. John Wick, we're getting the game from Saber Interactive. I really wish I bought John Wick Hex. That was like an over-the-top John Wick game that came out, I want to say like 2017, 2018. But so this one, it looks amazing. Check out the trailer. You're going to be able to do all the gung fu and everything. It has no official release date and no official title just yet. It's just under like John Wick. So I feel like it's going to have like a subtitle like John Wick, Birth of the Baba Yaga or something like that. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. We got some new players that were announced. So we're going to get Magic, Wolverine, and Dagger. Comes out on August 6th. Pre-orders are going to be next week on the 19th. So I still don't know how I feel about this because, once again, I don't really play fighting games online. Fighting games to me should be played with friends in your house. And you know, it could be my age showing. I mean, I am turning 40 in about 2 weeks. So does anybody else feel that way about like fighting games? Like, how many of you guys actually play your fighting games online? That's what I want to know. So like, leave a comment, shoot a DM or something like that. Just let me know because I really don't know that many people who play fighting games online. Like, and if you do play online, you're playing with your friends online. Like, I don't know that many people. Let me rephrase that. I don't know that many people play fighting games with random people on the internet. Maybe if like if you want to do a rank up, if you're someone who cares about collecting trophies, like maybe that's the people who do it. But like people I know, they don't really play them online like that. Metal Gear Solid is getting another Master Collection. So this one, Metal Gear Solid Collection, Master Collection Volume 2. This comes out August 27th. And this will have Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots, and Metal Gear Peace Walker, which I think was on the PSP. And I'm sorry, I think that was on the PC. And Metal Gear Ghost Babel, which I've never heard of. I'm gonna look to see where this was. What system was this on? Was this on like a Game Gear? I mean, a Game Boy? Game Boy Color. God damn. So yeah, didn't even know that was a thing. Because I was like, wasn't there a Metal Gear Solid game on Game Boy? So yeah, like I said, August 27th for that one. The one that really got my eye, just because I really got to get back on part 2, Legacy of Kain. I told you guys about Legacy of Kain. I want to say when they announced the remaster, like on the State of Play, I want to say like maybe 3 years ago. It was a game I played growing up. I never beat. I've recently, not recently, like 5-6 months ago. I guess that's still considered recent. Recently beat the first one. I started the second one on PS2, and then I was like, I really think I have ADHD just because I started that game. And usually when I play a game, I am locked in. But somewhere along the lines, like I started doing other things, and I just haven't gone back to that game in about 4 months or so. So I need to get back to that. But Legacy of Kain Defiance is getting a remaster. And this is going to be coming out on March 3rd on the PS4 and the PS5. And it says that it has a robust new set of features you can sink your fingers into, alongside refinements of visuals, controls, and camera design for modern audiences. And a host of archival content. The game's deluxe edition will feature a playable demo of Defiance's canceled sequel, Dark Prophecy. Okay, I need to know when the physical edition comes out because I will get the collector's edition of the physical version of the game. As a matter of fact, I am going to go grab my collector's edition of Legacy Kain remaster, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remaster. So give me 1 second. I'm going to be right back.
5 minutes later.
I know y'all be sick and tired of me getting up and going to do stuff. So yeah, this is the book, the case. It's got like a nice steel book in here as well as the disc for both games, and a nice fancy art book. So I like the fact that the art book, you put that in the front, and that is Raziel's face in the tear. It would have been nice like to put like a little postcard in there as well. So yeah, this is the art book. They also gave me the freaking soundtrack for both games. So yeah, shout out to them for that. Got a nice steel book. I was about to say, where's the other disc? But then I remembered this game was so small because it was a PS1 and it was a PS2 game. It was just one disc. So yeah, whenever the physical edition of that comes out, I will definitely be getting that. And Loco, please don't text me. I know I need water because I'm doing a lot of cottonmouth shit. But I'm going to go do that now. I'm actually going to go get some water. And when I come back, I will be talking about comic previews since I forgot to do it despite the fact that I had it in my notes last week. All right, be right back. This episode is brought to you by Tubi. Tubi gives you focus and energy without the crash and jitters. It has no sugar, fillers, or artificial dyes. Mix 1 packet or scoop into 8 or 12 ounces of water. Stir or shake well. Some powderiness is normal, and it has all the important vitamins. So this has vitamin C, B3, B6, and B12. And it's made from coffee fruit extract. So drink it and go conquer a task. And go to Tubi.gg and use my promo code AngryBlurred10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. That's Tubi.gg with promo code AngryBlurred10. Back. Why you hurt? Why you mad? Why you look bad? Shout out to Melly Mel. Comic book previews time. So I got my iPad over here, so I'm not consistently looking down. So if you see me look to the right or the left, depending on how I invert this video, I'm more than likely going to switch it to the left. So I told you guys Brandon Sanderson basically sold a lot of his book properties to Apple, and they will be adapting all of his Cosmere Universe stuff. And as I told you before, it was adapted into a few comics. So this is coming from, what is this, Image? Either Image or Dynamite. I really wish I would have figured out who did this. White Sand will be getting an omnibus collection in both hardcover and paperback. 496 pages. The hardcover will be $70 and the trade paperback will be $50. I'm just grabbing my iPad. I'm sorry. So this will be it's written by Brandon Sanderson and Rick Hoskin with art by Julius Gopez, Fritz Casas, and Julius Ota. I don't know him. I know of him. So it says 7 years after the New York Times bestselling author Brandon Sanderson's first debut of his acclaimed White Sand graphic novels, it's Dynamite. Dynamite is proud to present a special near 500-page tome collecting all 3 volumes of Sanderson's epic fantasy tale in a single deluxe omnibus edition. On the planet of Taladin, the legendary Sandmasters harness arcane powers to manipulate sand in spectacular ways, but when they are slaughtered in a sinister conspiracy, the weakest of their number, Kenton believes himself to be the only survivor. With enemies closing in on all sides, Kenton forges an unlikely partnership with Chris, a mysterious Darksider who hides secrets of her own. Assassins are coming at them from all directions, and Kenton's only true ally is Chris, a visitor from the other side of the planet who has an agenda of her own to pursue. So I might get this. Like I said, I never read the White Sand stuff. One of my coworkers was playing the audiobook of it when I was trying to reread Invincible. But yeah, there's that. All right. IDW. I talked about this one a few months ago, but it was announced as a mini-series. So this is going to be the annual, I guess. They need like 5 issues to justify making a paperback. The Street Sharks annual, just coming out 2026, obviously. The story by Jordan Morris and Stephanie Williams with art by Ariel Medel. 40 pages, $5.99, sometime in April. A new shark enters the fight, and this one's a whale. I always forget that he's a killer whale. All right, the Street Shark's best friend and trusted ally, Moby Lick, is in town on the heels of one of the shark's worst enemies. Why did they put a period there? That should be like a colon. Evil businessman and big game poacher Malcolm Medusa III and his trusted saboteur henchman Clamando, have broken out of prison. At the same time, a dinosaur was found alive in the deep ocean trench. They're set on capturing the dinosaur and cloning it to seed the next generation of fossil fuels, but they'll need a scientist to make it happen. Who better than their last cellmate, Dr. Paradigm? The street sharks will need all the help they can get to stop all three of their greatest enemies. And in the backup story, with the lair all to himself, Ben invites a girl over for a dinner date, but when the sharks are away, the Civities come out and play. Ben's will be defenseless to stop them, or so he wants you to believe. Yeah, I don't remember jack dilly shit about Street Sharks, and I did not get a chance to buy all 4 issues, so whenever the paperback comes out, I'll get that. Alright, so this is from Image Comics. This is Fireborn. This is written by Kurt Pyers and Franklin Jonas with art by Patrick Mullahan. I have no idea what the Lost Fantasy world is, but this says a new series set in the world of Lost Fantasy. Aaron Hilberg was just another rich kid Felsen, ghosting his responsibilities, hopping rooftops, and halting his billionaire father. And hating his billionaire father in peace until a mysterious floating dragon egg bonds to him and ignites a hidden lineage of ancient magic inside his body. Now every violent outlaw, wizard, biker, cultist, and supernatural warlord between New York City and the world beneath is hunting him, and they'll burn the world down to pry the egg from his corpse. It says a high-octane fusion of fantasy and superheroes, perfect for fans of Invincible, How to Train Your Dragon, and Absolute Batman. This is 48 pages, $4.99. It comes out April 22nd. I actually have to go to the comic book store and add this to my pull list just because the art looks cool. But yeah, I don't know what the Lost Fantasy universe is as far as Image goes. Like, I don't read any Image really outside of the Radiant series. It's like Radiant Black, Radiant Red. Well, really the Massive Verse in general. So like the Dead Lucky, Rogue Sun. Because there's no Invincible books besides Battle Beast. Oh, I forgot Image has the rights to Transformers and G.I. Joe now. So yeah, that's all I really read. I don't know what the Lost Fantasy universe is. All right. Also from Image, this is Final Boss Mass Vigilante. This is a one-shot written by Tyler Kirkham. I don't think I met Tyler. I might have. I've been to so many damn cons. With art by Leon Govinder. So it says, from the explosive world of Final Boss emerges the most enigmatic breakout star, the Masked Vigilante. She is a fan favorite shadow assassin shrouded in absolute mystery until now. We dive into her origins, uncovering the history of this lethal protector. Melding with the darkness, she unleashes an arsenal of dangerously crafted weaponry to dismantle a ruthless crime syndicate. 24 pages, April 29th, $3.99. I'm going to say, you don't really see comics with 24 pages anymore. It's just like 32 or something like that. But that explains why it's $3.99 and not like, $4.99. Alright, so this one is an old one. I was not doing the podcast when this came out. This was also adapted into a TV show that went for, I want to say, 2 seasons. Which I honestly hated the fact that it went for 2 seasons because they changed the ending. So this is Happy. This is written by Grant Morrison and is drawn by Derek Robinson. So I kind of want to give you a brief synopsis of this book before I read the actual synopsis of said book. So it's basically about a washed-up detective who all of a sudden sees a imaginary unicorn donkey Pegasus type situation who comes to him because his human friend has been kidnapped, and apparently this is the only guy who can see him. So that is the Bernard synopsis of Happy. It's only like 4 issues anyway. So here we go. The best-selling comic that inspired the cult favorite sci-fi series follows an ex-cop at rock bottom who finds an unlikely shot at redemption when he's guided by a tiny, relentlessly optimistic blue cartoon horse only he can see. Meet Nick Sachs, a corrupt, intoxicated ex-cop turned hitman, adrift in a stinking twilight of casual murder, soulless sex, eczema, and betrayal. With a hit gone wrong, a bullet in his side, the cops and the mob on his tail, and a monstrous child killer in a Santa suit on the loose, Nick and his world will be changed forever this Christmas by a tiny blue horse called Happy. So this is actually the deluxe edition of the trade paperback. It says the deluxe edition of Happy includes 10 extra pages of story by creators Grant Morrison and Derek Robinson, and the inspiration for the Season 2 sci-fi adaptation starring Christopher Maloney as Nick Sachs. and Patton Oswalt as the voice of Happy. So I watched both seasons only because I read this comic when it came out in real time. Also, this is going to be $14.99. Comes out April 8th. I loved the book. Like I said, it was only 4 issues, and I get it. TV basically always wants to monopolize things because let me actually see when this show came out. I don't think limited series were a thing back then because I feel like this was like 2016, 2017. All right, Happy TV series. Yeah, it aired December 6, 2017, and season 2 aired in 2019. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I love the comic. I liked the first season, but then like the last episode came out and they changed the ending. But check out Happy if you haven't. I mean, check out the comic. You can watch the show afterwards. So this is the Invincible Walking Dead situation where, you know, people are going to make changes just so everything isn't shot for shot. But this had no follow-up, so it didn't justify having a second season. Meanwhile, Invincible went for like 150 something issues. The Walking Dead went for like 169, 170, something like that. But the problem with The Walking Dead is they went a little bit too far with the changes. Like, I really checked out of season 4. Checked out of The Walking Dead at season 4. And would, you know, watch the premiere of the season and the finale. And just look online to see what people were saying on a weekly basis about the episodes. But yeah, it is what it is. It's what happens when your creatives don't really come in and tell people, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. Anyway, I am on to Marvel. So last month I told you guys about the DC Spider-Man Superman crossover. And just like the Deadpool and Wolverine one, Marvel is doing theirs with Spider-Man Superman. So written by Brad Meltzer and Jeff Johns with illustrations by Pepe Larraz and Gary Frank. This is going to be out on April 15th. It's $6.99. So it says, 50 years ago, DC's Man of Steel met Marvel's friendly neighborhood wall crawler, and the world of comics has never been the same. And a celebration of that historic milestone, thrill to all new tales. What the fuck? Thrill to all new tales of Spider-Man and Superman and their friends and foes. Brad Meltzer and Pepe Larraz pit Spider-Man and Superman against Lex Luthor and Norman Osborn as their greatest villains, exploit some of their greatest weaknesses. In the shadow late 1930s, Spider-Man Noir encounters a Golden Age Superman as told by Dan Slott / Marcos Martin. A crisis ensues as Jeff Johns and Gary Frank bring Super and Spider families together against... What? Alright. Johns and Frank bring the Super and Spider families against each other at the summons of Mysterio. But is their true foe and ally out of control? Symbiote hordes invade Metropolis as a new war of realms ignites in Aaron and Dodderman's epic. That's Jason Aaron and Russell Dodderman. Co-creators of Steel, Louise Simonson hammers out a tale of John Henry's clash against the Hobgoblin, as drawn by Todd Nack. I don't know if it's Joe Kelly or what, but Kelly and Ramos take us on a crossover. On a campus crossover between Gwen Stacy and Lana Lang. Miles Morales teams up with Superman as Bendis and Pacelli reteam. And this and more, all this and more, than a few super surprises that I don't have that you'll be talking about for the next 50 years. I don't know what the hell is going on. Why am I having trouble reading this? Sometimes when I take screenshots of like these solicitations, like the font gets blurry as shit. Alright, what else do I have from Marvel? Alright, so Amazing Spider-Man Spider-Versary. I don't know if this is going to be a mini-series or what. It goes on sale on April 22nd. It's $4.99. So this is written by Jonathan Morris with art by Perry Perez. So it says Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy. I said Gwen Stacy, but Spider-Gwen, Silk, Aranya, Spider-Boy, and Spider-Girl have one thing in common. They aren't ready, according to former Resolute Spider-Man Norman Osborn. So he and Spider-Woman are going to train them to meet the next threat, and the only way the Green Goblin knows how, because the next threat might well be the Green Goblin. So yeah, that just happened in the comics. I'm slowly catching up on comics whenever I can, just because work is always kicking my ass. So like, Peter actually disappeared off the face of the planet, and Norman was posing as Spider-Man, and Ben Reilly, you know, the clone that gets no fucking respect, was posing as Peter Parker to save Peter's job that he just got at like Rand Incorporated. All right, so now we're going back about 20 years, just because it's been about 20 years. I think this year is the 20th anniversary. We're doing Civil War Unmasked. So this is written by Nicolas Cage, who I haven't been seeing writing comics in a while. It was like, yo, I thought maybe he died or something, and like nobody like gave him like a celebration or anything like that. And this is illustrated by Edgar Salazar. So it said, "Whose side are you on?" Revisit the event that unleashed shockwaves across the Marvel Universe in this 5-issue miniseries. Follow the unseen stories of Iron Man, Spider-Man, Goliath, Tigra, and Captain America before and after the events of Civil War. An urgent mission from Bishop takes Tony Stark into the days of future past, but a revelation of the apocalyptic future changes everything Tony thought he knew about the consequences of the Superhero Registration Act. So yeah, I still don't know how I feel about, you know, like I said, going back and rehashing things that happened like so long ago. I get it. It's an anniversary. But at the same time, it's like, no. All right, Loco, this one is for you. And I'm sorry, I am helping you with your obsession with Deadpool. This is Deadpool, April Fool's Day. This is written by Gail Simone, one of the most prestigious writers in comic books, with art by C.F. Villa. So it says, "It's April Fool's Day in the 616. Join Wade Wilson as we celebrate April Fool's Day the way our ancestors did, with tricks, gags, and a potentially universe-ending calamity." Wait, was that the last one? The real trick is Wade's being serious when he figures out how the deadly situation is on April 1st, and no one believes him, but you do, right? Because if not, that could spell the end for the Marvel Universe as we know it. Comes out on April 1st, $4.99. Order that now on Midtown Comics so you can get it. All right. Doom 2099, Rage of Doom. This is written by Frank Thierry with art by Von Randall. I guess this is a miniseries. Ultron versus Doom. Dr. Doom's spell didn't just annihilate his enemies, it wiped out all life on Earth, leaving him even more regret. Leaving even him to regret the cost. In the desolate future of Doom 2099, Doom discovers Ultron's buried head and risks everything to repair his time machine. But awakening a dangerously powerful machine intelligence invites new rebellion, and the path to redemption may demand a price even Doom never anticipated, like his life. So yeah, I checked that out. I like Frank Thierry's writing. I never read anything that he wrote involving Dr. Doom. It's always been like the Incredible Hulk. All right, so I saw this and I was like, hold on, wait a second, because I looked at the creative team. So this is Eternals. This is the 50th anniversary special. This is a one-shot just for the Eternals' 50th anniversary. And this is where I decided to scratch my head. This comic script, this one is not the one you think it is. It's written by Ralph Macchio. Not that Ralph Macchio. It's not the Karate Kid. This is a whole separate Ralph Macchio. He's been writing comics for years. Unless, you know, they're throwing off the scent. But I looked up this Ralph Macchio, and it's not the same Ralph Macchio. But this is where I was like, huh? And Patrick Stump from Fallout Boy is writing comics now. I mean, anything is possible. Comic books have been written by artists before, like Gerard Way from the Umbrella Academy. Not the Umbrella Academy. My Chemical Romance created the Umbrella Academy. CF Punk wrote a Drax comic. And this is illustrated by Dale Eaglesman, whose art I love, by the way, and Michael Cho. So it says, celebrate 50 years of Jack Kirby's cosmic vision. The Eternals return in an oversized anniversary special honoring the legendary creators of the honorary creators of the King of Comics. Discover untold stories of Earth's immortal protectors, explore the hidden history, and witness the debut of a brand new Eternal, once whose secret could shake the foundations of the Marvel Universe. Featuring Captain America, Icarus, the Reject, and introducing the Lost Eternal. This milestone issue is a must-have for Kirby fans and Marvel collectors alike. I don't know who the reject is. I guess that's who we're gonna get introduced to. All right. Ultimate Universe finale. So this is the end of the Ultimate Universe coming in April. Ultimate Endgame started last month, so hopefully you guys have been catching up on that. Like I said, I'm slowly catching up on my comics. So this is written by Dennis Camp and Jonathan Hickman with art by Alessandro Cappuccio and Stefano Caselli. So it says, The Ultimate Goodbye. Following the events of Ultimate Endgame 5, the creative teams of all the Ultimate books come together one last time to say farewell. So, I don't know why this is ending, but the Ultimate Universe is like really the only books that are really selling like high numbers at Marvel. I know my guy, whose name I'm drawing a blank on, was originally supposed to bring back the Ultimate Universe, but he got in a car accident. Was it Dennis Hopeless? I'm looking this up real quick. Donnie Cates, that's who it was. Not Dennis Hopeless. Yeah, because he was setting all this stuff up when he was writing Venom, but he got in a car accident, basically lost 6 months of memory. So all the scripts were gone, and they pivoted and panicked and had Jonathan like, Jonathan, we need you to do this. So yeah, there's that. We got the Uncanny X-Men Annual written by Gail Simone, drawn by Francisco Motoreno. So it says, from the pages of Dark Artery and Uncanny X-Men. Who are the regulators? I'm sorry. I am sorry. It's just, you can't mention regulators without thinking of Warren G and Nate Dogg, or I can't remember the name of the movie. Emilio Estevez is in it. That's where the whole thing comes from. Regulators, mount up. I almost remembered, but Young Guns, that's what it was. I almost said Wild Horses. All right. Who are the regulators? The turn of the century mutants who once called Haven House their home. And what is their secret, and what secret connection do they have to Wolverine's past? $4.99 goes on sale on April 1st. All right. Now we are going to DC. I got the Fury of Firestorm, who is a character I like, who doesn't get enough shine in the DC universe. Written by Jeff Lemire with art by Rafael De La Torre. So Rafael De La Torre, he's a hit or miss artist for me, but he's doing the covers for this as well, and the cover looks good. It's 32 pages, $4.99, goes on sale on April 1st. It says, the community of Bedford, Colorado is a sleepy small town. The people say hello to their neighbors, attend town hall meetings, and root for the local high school football team on Friday nights. But this idyllic small town is thrown upside down when the nuclear man arrives and starts experimenting. Firestorm has turned buildings to sand and people to glass with no remorse and no warning. But what exactly provoked Ronnie Raymond to commit this heinous act, and can anyone contain the fury that is Firestorm? What the fuck? I was not expecting that. Like, when I see these synopsises, guys, I don't read them before I take the screenshot. It's like, it's a number one. I look at the creative team and that's it. Like, if the creative team is like people I like, I'll check it out. But like, in the words of Thugnificent, man, what did he do to make them niggas that mad? All right. Anyway, Batman, Wonder Woman, Truth. 48 pages, $5.99, goes on sale on April 29th. This is written by Jeff Loeb and drawn by someone who I haven't seen drawn interiors in a while, and that's Jim Cheung. Jim Lee, stop doing variant covers for shit and work on Batman Hush 2. Why are you doing variant covers for this, okay? We only got part 5 of Hush 2 out. Anyway, Batman and Wonder Woman team up for a classic caper brought to you by superstar talent writer Jeff Loeb and artist Jim Cheung. The lasso of truth has been stolen, and the Cape Crusader and Amazon Princess race to ensure a safe return before it falls into the wrong hands. You don't want to miss the aftermath of Batman Hush, featuring the devious duo foolish enough to steal from Wonder Woman, the Joker and Harley Quinn. Hush isn't even done yet. What the fuck are we doing, DC? All right. So this is, and you know what? I'm not even going to do this one. I just realized it doesn't have a release date. It was Supergirl the World. It's basically a OGN written by several writers with several artists, but it doesn't have an official release date, so I'm just going to skip that one. All right, I think that is it for my solicits because I don't think the Captain Marvel one has a release date just yet. So yeah, guys, that's it for solicits. All right, what do I have next to talk about? Discord. So a lot of us use Discord for multiple reasons to chat online with our friends. So now Discord has decided, hey, you might not be old enough to use our shit. So they will age restrict users from using certain features next month unless the user sends in a face scan or ID. And if you are like me and you are slowly becoming a conspiracy theorist in your old age, you like, why the fuck do you need to see my face? Like, I hate this shit. Like with Instagram, like they deleted my account despite the fact that I scanned my fucking face to prove that I was a real person. So Discord made a post saying, wait. Here we go. So it says, we've seen some questions about our age assurance update and we want to share more clarity. We know how important these changes are to our community. Here's what we want you to know. Discord is not requiring everyone to complete a face scan or upload an ID to use Discord. The vast majority of people can continue using Discord exactly as they do today without ever being actually confirmed their age. You need to be an adult to access age-restricted experiences such as age-restricted servers and channels or to modify certain safety settings. For the majority of adult users, we will be able to confirm your age group using information we already have. We use age prediction to determine with high confidence when a user is an adult. This allows many adults to access age-appropriate features without completing an explicit age check. When additional information is required, we offer multiple privacy-forward options through trusted partners. Facial scans will never leave your device. Discord and our vendor partners never receive it. So why the fuck do you need it? IDs are used to get your age only and then delete it. Don't believe you. Discord only receives your age. That's it. Your identity is never associated with your account. We hope this clarifies some of your questions. This work is important to building a safer Discord. I'm sorry. Yeah. I missed the word because. This work is important because building a safer Discord requires a thoughtful approach alongside the communities who make Discord special. So you want to scan my face, and that's not going to sit somewhere on a server. Huh? So whenever Discord does this, I'm going to check to see if they update the terms and conditions to see what they'll allow and what third-party partners they have will be able to get what information, because that's always the iffy thing. Like, the only company that doesn't keep a copy of your face is Apple, because you can use Face ID without the internet. You can have a phone that's not connected to the internet in any way, shape, or form and use Face ID just to unlock it. I don't know about Samsung because I don't have an Android phone, but I saw that. I was like, okay, whatever, man. Y'all, someone's going to make another server for people to chat online with their friends and whatnot, and they're going to be like, wait, we're sorry. We didn't mean it like that. But yeah, y'all fucked up, bro. That's all I can say. All right, next story. Hasbro, the company that slowly is ruining my childhood, is now apologizing for, traumatizing people my age, but not me, because I did not watch this movie as a child. So it is the 40th anniversary of Transformers the movie. I actually told you guys I saw this for the first time about 4 or 5 months ago at a friend's house. So they made a post that said, "To all our loyal fans, we hear you and feel your pain. To make up for making you cry at the movies 40 years ago, the company's going on an apology tour that also involves you paying to accept said apology." So they're re-releasing the movie in theater. So basically, the apology tour includes screenings of the movie, new music, and special fan events. And of course, 40th anniversary. There's going to be some new toys. There's going to be a $125 replica of the Matrix a Universe. Oh shit! I cannot believe I just did that. The Matrix of Leadership. And they're also releasing figures of Snarl and the Astro Train that are going to be about $60 each. Skywarp and Shockwave are getting re-released for $43, and Sunstreak, Kranix, and Wheeljack are going to be $28 a piece. So they did not share any specific details on the movie's re-release, but there's going to be more information on the toys when this episode drops on the 15th, and the pre-orders will go live on Monday the 16th and Tuesday the 17th. So, I mean, the Matrix of Leadership looks cool. It got a nice display stand and everything. But as much as I love Transformers, I don't need any more toys, despite the fact that I'm going to buy some more Power Ranger stuff. Bro, this shit looks awesome as fuck. It like plugs in and charges, so you don't need to worry about like AA batteries, AAA batteries, D batteries, none of that shit. So I'm going to have to actually send this to Cage Bishop Cosplay, because I know he was looking for a Matrix of Leadership when Transformers 1 came out. So I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry. Here you go. But yeah, so there's that. Next story. Trailer reaction to Spider-Noir. So the trailer came out a couple days ago. We got to see a little bit of it. And honestly, it looks good to me. The web swinging looked good from what I saw. I have no notes. A lot of racists are getting pissed off because Kat Hardy is being played by Lee Jung Lee from Sinners. And Kat Hardy is obviously a version of Felicia Hardy. And it's just like, people are like, oh, why is Black Cat Asian all of a sudden? I don't get it. Make it make sense. This is an alternate universe where I'm pretty sure racism doesn't exist, because Lamorne Morris is playing Robbie Robinson. So yeah, it's just like, I'm going to check out this series. I really hope it's good. And if you need a refresher, this is going to have weekly drops on MGM Plus on May 25th. And May 27th, it will be coming to Prime in both black and white and color. Don't know if it's going to be in black and white and color on MGM Plus. And here's the thing I don't get about Amazon. So you guys bought MGM. You have Prime Video, then you turned around and made another streaming service to monopolize on that MGM name. But you have MGM shit on Prime Video, like Creed, The Wrecking Crew is an MGM movie. Like, does this stuff also air on MGM Plus? And if it does, how about for the people who have Prime Video, they get MGM Plus as like an add-on? Fuck, get rid of all the shit for Twitch or Amazon Gaming and just give us MGM Plus or something. But, because I want to watch From, Harold Perrineau, the guy who played Link in The Matrix, Revolutions and Reloaded. But it's only on MGM Plus, and I don't want to like add that shit on as an accessory to my Prime. Like, y'all already get me for like $15 a month. I almost caved in and got the ad free, but I didn't. But anyways, talking about Nicolas Cage, I guess, because Spider-Noir, he was talking about the reason why, this should be in both color and black and white. So he said, I understand why they presented it in both, and I suggested it from the beginning. I remember when Amazon was first thinking about doing it, they were nervous about black and white, and I said, you don't only have to do it in black and white, you can do it in color as well, because this is for all ages. For people that haven't had a lot of experience with black and white, they can enjoy the color, and color is beautiful, but black and white is what I was drawn to. He was also saying that, it matches my concept of how to portray a noir film, but the truth is, they both work and they're both beautiful for different reasons. The color is super saturated and gorgeous. I think teenage viewers will appreciate the color, but I also want them to have the option. If they want to experience the concept in black and white, maybe that would instill some interest in them to look at earlier movies and enjoy that art form as well. So yeah, I get that, because people are slowly bringing black and white back. Like Godzilla -1 is a period piece that takes place, I want to say after World War II. I can't remember because I fell asleep in that movie like 4 times. But they released it in black and white as well as color. And The Walking Dead tried this with like the first 2 seasons, and they saw that nobody was watching it. So the show was always in color, but the comic was in black and white because Image Comics, they're usually just a distributor for you to put out your books. So Robert Kirkman and I want to say Charlie Albrecht, they didn't necessarily have the money to finance getting a colorist. So Charlie did all the pencils and the inks, and Robert wrote it, and it was just all in black and white from beginning to end. The only time that book ever had color before they started re-releasing it, like 2-3 years ago, there was an issue where I can't remember if Rick got shot or what, but it's The Walking Dead, but it's kind of like in the Invincible universe or something like that. So it was like 3 pages in color, and that was it. So yeah, I can't wait to check out this show. I really hope it's good. Like I said, that trailer was awesome. All right, my next story is in regards to childhood, and Warner Brothers just like, you know what? We don't care what you guys want to watch for nostalgia. We're getting rid of all of it on HBO Max. So a majority of the Warner Brothers animation stuff has been axed from HBO Max. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but whatever. And it is going to Tubi. So this is actually all hitting on March 1st. I'm going to go over all this. Let me drink some more water because this is a lot. I feel like Webby right now when he was doing the drops for the Breakfast Club. Y'all got some names on y'all. All right. I drank too fast. You know when you drink water and it just like sits like right here in your fucking chest? And that shit hurts. Like you kind of got punched. And like it's slowly going through your diaphragm. So I'm like, now it's down here. Anyway, next. Here we go. You ready? The Abbott and Costello cartoons. The 1974 Addams Family cartoon. The Adventures of Batman. Animaniacs. Aquaman. Astro and the Space Mutts. Adam Ant, Baby Looney Tunes, Batman, the Brave and Bold. My brain is trying to read ahead, so I almost said the Brave and Be Bold because Be Cool Scooby-Doo is next. Beetlejuice, 2005's Ben 10, Beware the Batman, Captain Caveman and the Teen Angels, Captain Planet, Codename Kids Next Door, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Cow and Chicken, Dastardly and Muttley in their flying machines. Where's my other bottle of water? Dexter's Laboratory, Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, Dragon's Lair, Duck Dodgers, Dukes of Hazzard the animated series. Didn't know that was a fucking thing. Dumb and Dumber the animated series. I knew that was a thing. Dino Mutt, the Dog Wonder, Ed and Eddie, Evil Con Carne, Flintstone Family Adventures, Flintstone Kids. Didn't know that was a thing. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Freakazoid. Hold on a second. Shout out to them for putting this in the alphabetical order, by the way. Great Ape. Don't know what that is. Help is the Hair Bear Bunch. Hong Kong Phooey. Johnny Quest. Justice League Action. Crypto the Superdog. Legion of Superheroes. I can finally finish watching that. Lunatics Unleashed. Looney Tunes 3D Shorts. Looney Tune Cartoons. Mad. Magilla Gorilla. Mucha Lucha. The new Looney Tunes show. The new Scooby-Doo Mysteries, Paddington Bear, Pebbles and Bam Bam, Perils of Penelope Pit Stop, Pinky in the Brain, Pinky Elmira in the Brain, Powerpuff Girls, A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, Quick Draw McGraw, Ricochet Rabbit, Scooby and Scrappy-Doo, Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, Shaggy and Scooby Get a Clue, Smurfs, Snagglepuss, Static Shock, Super Friends, Supernatural the Anime Series, Tasmania, Teen Titans, The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, The Batman, Completely Mental Misadventures of Ed Grimley, The Frankenstones, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, The Heathcliff and Dingbat Show, The Mask Animated Series, The New Adventures of Batman, The New Adventures of Gilligan, The New Fred and Barney Show, The New Scooby-Doo Movies, The Plastic Man Comedy Adventure Show, The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, The Secret Squirrel Show, The Super Globetrotters, The Yogi Bear Show, Tiny Toon Adventures, Tom and Jerry Comedy Show, Tom and Jerry Kids, The Tom and Jerry Show, Tom and Jerry Tales, Top Cat, Unikitty, Wacky Races, 2017's Wacky Races, Xiaolin Showdown, Yo Yogi, Yogi's Galactic, Yogi's Galaxy Goof Ups, Yogi's Gang, Yogi's Space Race, and Yogi's Treasure Hunt. So shout out to Tubi for saving childhood memories, because although I do need Ben 10 Alien Force. No, I finished Alien Force. I need Ben 10 Ultimate Alien to get on there. And Omniverse, which was the sequel series. Otherwise, I'm sailing the seven seas. So yeah, there's that. March 1st, Tubi. Alright. Speaking of cartoons, but this is anime. Is this anime? I don't know. Terminator Zero has been canceled after one season. So Madison Tomlin talked about the cancellation of season 2. Of the series. He said not enough people watched season 1. He had plans for seasons 2 and 3. He said the show was also expensive and time consuming. And he said that Netflix were good partners and offered 2 or more episodes to wrap up the story, but then he declined. I honestly only know one person who watched this show, and he's been on the podcast several times. So shout out to Jared. He said like the show more or less felt like a befuddled mess. I'm looking at some of the comments. Somebody said, this is why I'm fearful of Netflix owning Warner Brothers. They cancel things way too fast. Somebody said, heard great things about the show. Unfortunately, didn't get time to watch it. If it got more marketing, probably would have got renewed. The show itself was conflicting. They already had robots to do manual labor. And the protagonist, of course, came from the future to create a counter Skynet, but spent all the time moralizing about humanity's worth. So when Judgment Day hits, Japan is spared from the bombs. People with their fucking AI. The show is pretty good, but had an interesting story. Sucks that Netflix canceled it, but hopefully another platform will pick it up. Expensive and time consuming for Netflix, the same greedy corporation that made the prices seriously expensive and added an ad tier while adding ads for said expensive tiers. Declining episodes, extra episodes to wrap up takes guts, honestly, respect for not watering it down. Tomlin sticking to his guns on that vision. Respect. Terminator Zero deserved more eyes, though. They should have sold it to another platform. What a shame. So on and so forth. Like I said, I only knew one person who watched the show. So it is what it is, unfortunately. A video game that I play on occasion. I need to get back on that. I need to hit up Ryan like, yo, man, when we running that D by D back. It's getting a live action adaptation. So Dead by Daylight is a horror survival game where basically you can either play as the killer or the victims, and you have to make it out of the area by doing certain objects to open the gates and whatnot before the killer kills you. So this actually inspired the Friday the 13th game that came out a few years ago, and the Halloween game that's supposed to be coming out later this year, because coincidentally Michael Myers is in this game. I don't remember if Jason is, but Freddy is, Chucky is. They've got several original killers as well, but it's getting a movie. So David Leslie Jordan McGoldrick, who worked on The Conjuring 2, and Alexandra Aja, who worked on a movie called Crawl, are writing the script. I'm actually going to see if I can see all the killers for Dead by Daylight. I'm going to their website real quick. Do I have to confirm my age? No, I do not. All right, so here we go. This game is 10 years old. All right, here we go. Killers and Survivors. Because they also add, see, here we go. Got to confirm my age. I'm going to just say February 22nd, 1990. So, here we go. Killers. So, you got Vecna, who was called the First for some reason. The Kraus, who is, I've never heard of this lady before. She might be an original killer. Yeah. Back to killers. So you got one of the animatronics from Five Nights at Freddy's. I have no idea who Ken Kaneki is, but he looks like he's from an anime. I'm going to look him up real quick. Tokyo Ghoul. Told y'all I don't watch anime like that. Dracula, Chucky the Xenomorph, Wesker from Resident Evil, Nemesis, you got the girl from The Ring, Pyramid Head from Silent Hill, the Demogorgon, Ghostface, Leatherface, Freddy Krueger. You have I have no idea who Amanda Young is, but it says the pig. I'm looking Amanda Young up. Well, it says franchise DLC, so what fucking film franchise is she from? Apparently she is part of Saw, so I don't know if she's actually a character from the film franchise or what. So yeah, they always introduce new people, like even survivors. They got Steve Harrington in here, 11, Dustin from Stranger Things, Rick Grimes, Michonne, Laura Croft, Nicolas Cage, Ellen Ripley, Alan Wake, Ada Wong, somebody named Rebecca Chambers, Yoichi Asakawa, I'm guessing from Tokyo Ghoul, Leon S. Kennedy, Jill Valentine, Nancy Wheeler, Steve Harrington, Ash Adams, whoever the hell Detective David Tapp is. I believe he's from Halloween, if I'm not mistaken. I'm looking up David Tapp real quick. Saul, Danny Glover's character. Don't look like Danny Glover. Whoever the hell Quentin Smith is as well. So yeah, real easy game to play. Check it out. My next story, I got a lot to talk about, you guys. So SAG-AFTRA, all the writers and actors went on strike to fight AI usage in films and whatnot. And I actually just saw a story earlier about one actor who's going to be using a little bit of AI in his movie. So I'm like, yep. You just killed your film, buddy. They call that Bytedance. So for those of you who don't know, Bytedance is these owners of TikTok everywhere in the world, with the exception of America. They have a new AI model called Seedance. And you guys might have seen this video going around on social media. It's an AI video of Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt fighting about Jeffrey Epstein, of all things. So somebody... I don't know who, might have been Sean Astin, because he is the president of SAG-AFTRA right now. He said it's blatant infringement. This is unacceptable and undercuts the ability of human talent to earn a livelihood. It disregards law, ethics, industry standards, and basic principles of consent. Responsible AI development demands responsibility, and that is non-existent here. So yeah, I saw that and I was like, we're fucking cooked. And even some writer, I can't remember what writer it was, but he was like, yeah, we're fucked. Because it looked so good. Like, I'm even gonna look at the, I'll just post a video here, despite the fact that I really don't want to. It's 13 seconds, so here it is.
You killed Jeffrey Epstein, you animal! He was a good man! He knew too much about our Russia operations. He had to die, and now you die too.
This is just gonna get out of control, and some people are just gonna praise it, despite the fact that next thing your favorite actor can't get a job because they got the deep fake of them. All right, speaking of jobs, Doctor Who. Don't know what's going on with the future of Doctor Who past Christmas. All I know is I read an article that basically said the BBC needs money. Well, they didn't say they needed money. They just said they're not talking about how the show is going to get funding since they split ways with Disney. So the BBC Studios production chief Zy Bennett was talking to Deadline about Doctor Who and just very vague terms of the future of the show. He said, for the show to continue beyond its 2026 Christmas special, the BBC now needs to replace some of that lost budget, which totals millions of pounds per hour. Deadline then asked Bennett whether BBC Studios will stump up some of the lost cash to give the show a long-term future, but Bennett said they wouldn't give a direct answer. He said he won't speak for the BBC, but we're all in it together. We're a big part of Doctor Who and are all motivated to make sure Doctor Who has a long, flourishing life. We've got the Christmas special, and after that, it's time for all of us to work on it. So I'm like, shit, man. That does not sound good at all. I don't know how Doctor Who is going to make it into 2027 and beyond. But all the incels and, racists were complaining about there being a woman doctor back before even Disney got to it. And then they were complaining about Nashudi, which caused him to basically leave the show. So Are you fucking happy? Are you happy? Now the show might go away and we'll get nothing but a bunch of audio scripted dramas and that's it. And we'll get a re-release of all the lost episodes because they have the audio files but not the video files, so they're slowly animating those. But like, hey man, it is what it is. I'm really fucking over it. I'm sick and tired of like, you know, these major companies like giving in to the racists and the incels. Like Kathleen Kennedy stepped away from Star Wars after like 14 years, like I told you guys a couple days ago, because people were mad about Rey. I was mad about Rey too, but the only thing that made me mad about fucking Rey was the fact that she did not say, hey, I'm going to change the narrative about my family's last name. And no, I'm gonna just lie to everybody and say, hey, I'm a Skywalker. And then like, you know, red herring, you know, Finn to be, you know, the one who was going to be the lead of the movie, and then, you know, never actually confirming that he's force sensitive, but just only alluding to it in the last, like, in the Rise of Skywalker, which, you know, it was, I'm like, come on, man. If you're going to do it, do it. Don't fucking bitch out at the last minute. Anyway, I'm going to cue the spoiler alert now, guys, because I need to talk about Whistle. I saw this movie at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday. So, movie stars... I'm sorry, let me get over who wrote and directed it first. It was directed by Corin Hardy, who I've never heard of, and it was written by Owen Egerton. Oh, he directed The Nun, and he also works on Gangs of London, and he also did a movie called The Hollow. So anyway, Whistle stars Daphne Keane, Sophie Naselli, Sky Yang, Jahali Swaby, Ali Scoveby, Percy Hines White, Michelle Fairley, and Nick Frost. So I'm going to read you the IMDb synopsis because those are short. So it says, a misfit group of unwitting high school students stumble upon a cursed object, an ancient Aztec death whistle. They discover that blowing the whistle and the terrifying sound it emits will summon their future deaths to hunt them down. So, very basic synopsis, and I can honestly say I like this movie from beginning to end. I was a little bit critical of a few things, like, so Daphne King's character, Chris, whose name is like Chrysostilin or something like that. Chrysanthemum. She moves in with her relatives, including her cousin Rel, and basically like that's where the movie starts. After like the prologue of Horse. His nickname is Horse, but his name is Mason Raymore. He starts seeing like a burnt victim like on the field and everything, on the court, because he's playing basketball and he's in the final game. Scores the game-winning shot. He gets burnt alive in the showers, and Chris gets his old locker, which has a death whistle in it, and like one of his old teammates, Dean, gets into her about it, so she kicks him in the nuts. Everybody gets detention. They get the death whistle. Nick Frost is actually a teacher who is responsible for overseeing the detention, and blows the death whistle, and you actually find out he's a chain smoker, and his future death was he dies of cancer. So basically, however you were going to die in the future gets bumped up to now. So it aged him like maybe like 30 years or something like that, and he just, boom, stage 4 cancer died. Grace, she was meant to die of old age. She died at like 18, like death caught up with her like that. Rel, supposed to die at work. Like the way you're gonna die, you're not going to die that way per se. So like, it's not like a Final Destination situation where you see like, you know, the premonition of the death or whatever, and then you get the other premonition of how you're going to die. So no, like, you've died of cancer, you're going to die of cancer, but you're not going to die like in a hospital bed of cancer. So like Rel, he works at like a junkyard. He's actually supposed to fall into a machine and get shredded to bits. He just gets shredded out of the blue. And like I said, Grace, she just gets aged up. And Dean, who I got a lot of issues with, because he's like, yo, blow the whistle. Bitch, this is not a Too Short song. We are not blowing a fucking death whistle. It's like that role should have honestly been given to a white person, because black people don't do that shit. He dies of a car crash in his room. So like a car doesn't come in, death just comes and basically simulates a car crash. So like he like goes flying and everything. All his bones break, face gets fucked up and everything like that because he drinks and drives a lot, which is shown in the movie. Chris is, I guess, supposed to drown. No, she's supposed to OD. That's what it was. And Ellie, who is played by Sophie Nestle, is supposed to go into like a diabetic shock. But anyway, we find out like later on that Moose's grandmother is the one who brought the whistle, and you know, death has slowly been coming for everybody. And just like every other thing where death is coming for you, you can cheat death by giving somebody else your death, but not necessarily giving them your death, but basically you have to give them your blood. So like all that comes to a head at the end of the movie where Percy Hines' wife, who is actually a born-again Christian who has been providing drugs to the youth, was almost killed by Rel, but then Chris and his name Ellie stopped them. So they figure out that they can figure out a loophole to get around death by basically killing themselves, because you can only die once apparently. So they put Chris into basically Ellie puts Chris into basically a coma, which flattens her heart rate, and death starts coming for her then, but Ellie brings her back. Meanwhile, Ellie goes into her diabetic shock because death catches up with her, because Percy Hines White's character, Noah Haggerty, shows up and starts losing his shit, but he also shoots her and she bleeds out, and like he, like an idiot, touches her blood, so the death comes for him, and he basically starts shooting at his death, which is basically how he dies. So he kills himself technically. So he shoots at death and the bullets hit death, but he's also getting shot with those bullets. It's basically like when Freddy comes after you and people see like you getting scratches and shit on you in real life, but in the dream he's clawing the fuck out of you. So it was like that. But yeah, all in all, I like the movie, but I'm gonna have to give this about an 8, maybe a 9, just because of we just moved the story so fucking fast. So like Chris and Ellie, they just like smitten for each other like day one of school. Really, my guy, my dudes. Like, when does that ever happen in real life? Like, this movie takes place over the course of, I want to say, like 4 fucking days. It's like, yo, y'all googly-eyed at each other at the lockers because you kicked Dean in the nuts, and y'all are busy more or less making out when you know death is coming to get your asses. But yeah, that was my only issue with the movie. Go check out Whistle if you can. Like I was talking to Samir about it. I'm like, bro, this movie is not being like shown anywhere really. Like, I had to go at 10 o'clock on a weekday, and that was the only showing for it. So go see Whistle if you can. Next week, I'm either going to review Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, or Cold Storage. Because both of those movies, they're kind of like in the same situation. I did find a movie theater closer to me that has multiple showings. I just don't know which one I'm going to do yet. So we'll find out next week. So that was another episode of the Angry Blurred Podcast. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Go to WGG. Use my promo code AngryBlurred10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. Yo, I mixed my Galaxy grenade with a pineapple smoothie. Like, I made a smoothie from scratch. That shit was delicious. Yo, try that. Okay? But yeah, I will see y'all next week. Peace.